So let us summarize what we have discussed yesterday. So it was an instruction format, okay, where how what is the way to write one instruction and what are the terms involved into an instruction. Okay, so there we have seen first we should write a label where a label is an address, memory location of the instruction. It is pointing, that address is pointing to the memory location where the instruction is going to be stored. Then we should write a colon. Then there should be a mnemonic. The mnemonic is nothing but an operational code, what actually the operation has to be done, whether it has to be copying from one place to another location, addition, subtraction, logical operation, or whatever the operation it is going to tell to the processor, right? Then after mnemonic we should leave one space, and then we should write destination operand where a result is going to be stored, right? As well as the operand 1, we call it as the operand 1, which is nothing but a destination operand. Then comma we should write, and then source operand. Okay, so where the second, this is going to be the second operand for the processing purpose. Then we should put a semicolon, and then we have to write a comment. So this comment is a text. Comment will not be executed. Comment is a simple text, okay, which is going to explain what this instruction is going to do. Okay, comments are not going to be executed. Comments are not executed. So the comments, whatever we write after a semicolon, that text, that text will be treated as a comment. So that comment is not going to be executed, right? Then after this, what we have seen, addressing modes. So there are different addressing modes. Addressing modes are nothing but the way of accessing the data, the way of accessing the instruction from the memory into the ALU, or from the ALU or into the memory. Okay, so the way how the data can be fetched, the data can be accessed from the memory into the ALU, or from ALU into the memory. And what we have seen is there are different size of instructions: 1 byte instruction, 2 byte instruction, as well as there are few 3 byte instructions also. It means that if I write one instruction, that instruction is going to be stored into the program memory, and that into that program memory, that single instruction can allocate, can occupy only a single byte. So there is only 1 byte instruction is there. Some I have few instructions which occupy 2 bytes of memory locations. They are going to occupy into the program memory, as well as there are some very few instructions, very few instructions are there which are going to access, which are going to be occupy 3 bytes of memory locations into the program memory. Okay, so they are going to be stored by into the 3 memory locations. So such I have 255 possibilities, as the long opcode long is bit size is going to be from 8-bit data. Then I have we know that the 8051 is working upon 12 megahertz. So exactly what is the frequency is 11.0592 megahertz. 11.0592 megahertz. This is actual frequency, but for overall, we consider it as 12 megahertz. Okay, while telling, we call it as 12 megahertz. 8051 is going to work upon 12 megahertz. So this 12 megahertz is divided. Okay, we call it as a machine cycle. That will come into the next picture. Machine cycle. One machine cycle. That means a single byte instruction is executed within one machine cycle. Within one machine cycle, a 2 byte size instruction executed in two machine cycles. It will consume two machine cycle. Machine cycle is a speed. Then a 3 byte instruction consumes three machine cycles. So what is this machine cycle? A machine cycle is 12 clock cycles. One machine cycle is 12 clock pulses, right? One machine cycle is 12 clock pulse. So out of 11.0592 megahertz, if one instruction has to be executed, then it is going to consume, out of this megahertz, it is going to consume 12 hertz. It is going to consume 12 hertz to be executed. So in such way, one instruction around, I will tell you, if I take it as a 12 megahertz, okay, if I take it as 12 megahertz, okay, exact, the screen is visible, no? Am I audible? What is happening? Whether it is been, okay, okay. So if I take it as a 12 megahertz, 12 megahertz divided by 12 hertz. So what it will be? 12 megahertz divided by 12 hertz. What it will be? It will be 1 megahertz, no? Yes or no? 12, 12 will get cancelled. So what will be remaining? 1 megahertz. And what is the time? 1 megahertz is a frequency. What is remaining? So what is T? T is equal to 1 by F. Okay. So what is F? 1 megahertz. What is 1 by 1 megahertz? It is 1 microsecond. Okay. So if 1 byte instruction, 1 byte size instruction is executed in a single machine cycle, then that will consume 1 microsecond. It means it will be executed in within 1 microsecond. Okay, within 1 microsecond. Have you understood what is a machine cycle now? What is one machine cycle? Have you understood that? Okay. While replying, reply to everyone, not only privately for me. Okay. So now here, one machine cycle, 1 byte instruction will consume 1 microsecond, same as a 2 byte instruction will consume 2 machine cycle, whereas it will consume, it will be executed within 2 microseconds. And as well as a 3 byte instructions will take around 3 machine cycles, or it may take 4 machine cycles also. So those type of instructions will be executed within 4 microseconds. Okay, that is, for example, multiplication instruction and a division instructions will consume up to 4 microseconds to be executed. Okay, so there are 5. Okay, again it has been 6. So there are 5 addressing modes which are telling what is the way of accessing the data, what is the way of accessing the data, and what is the way of writing the data into the memory from the memory. Okay, those are immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, or it is directly called as indirect addressing mode, direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, and indexed addressing mode. Okay, we will see how what is actual the format to write the immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, and indexed addressing mode, and what is actually the function where we can apply it. Is it understood? So now, here the first one is immediate addressing mode. Here, this is going to tell that immediate stands for a data, direct data. Immediate stands for direct data or direct value. So that is going to be loaded, a direct value or a direct data is going to be loaded into the register, or it is loaded into the memory. Okay, it is a data, or directly we can call it as a value. Okay, so in this we can see that the data is provided, in the instruction itself. So directly in the instruction itself means in the instruction we are giving the data directly. It is not stored anywhere before. Okay, it is not stored anywhere in the memory, it is not stored anywhere in the RAM or ROM. We user is providing the data directly in the instruction, so that data is going to be stored into the register, right? So the data is provided immediately after the opcode. The data is provided immediately after the opcode. So let us see that how it can be written. Say for an example, so what is there here? See that this is my first instruction. Here label is not written. Okay, so therefore colon is also not there. That is going to be an optional. So what is there? Mnemonic is there. This is a mnemonic called as move, because this instruction explanation that will in the next slides we will go through all the instructions and the explanation of that. So now let us understand only one instruction, that is move. Okay, move stands for copy the data from source operand into the, copy the data or the value from the source operand into the destination operand. Okay, we know the instruction format. That is why I'm telling you. So after the space, what is being written? The destination operand, and what is after the comma, what is being written? The source operand. Now here, the source operand always stands for a data, immediate data, which is written by a developer programmer. Okay, and this is provided by using hash. So symbol has to be written compulsorily. It has to be written whenever I am providing an immediate value. Okay, so move a is a register. I know that a is a register, and a is having the address E0H. Okay, don't forget the uh, organization of the memory 8051, complete memory organization we have studied. Okay, so there is a memory location of a register, and that memory location is in the special function register. Okay, extra 128 byte is added to 128 bytes of RAM, where the address of a is going to be E0H. E0H. Okay, and what is the address of B register? That is going to be F0H. So what will happen? What is this instruction is going to do is, now what I'm going to write, move means copy, where into the A register, comma, from where, from the direct data. Direct value is written, is indicated by hash. If I write hash, then only whatever the number I am going to write, that is treated as an immediate value. Okay, what is the address of A? That is E0H, is one memory location. What is going to be stored? 0 A F H. Now see that whenever the hexadecimal number is being written after A, 9 can be written directly without 0. Here 0 is not considered. 0 is not considered. Only AF is considered, because AF is going to be 8-bit data. If I add 0, it will be 12-bit data. But because I am writing a hexadecimal number more than 9, that is A, B, C, D, E, F. If the data is starting from A, B, C, D, E, F, then I have to just write 0, but it will not be considered. Okay, so A, F, H. What will be stored into E0 now? This value is going to be stored into A register. What is A register? What is the memory location of A register? It is E0H. So what will be stored into E0H? A, F, H. AF. That is nothing but what is A? A is 1010. F is 1111. So this is actual data which is going to be stored into E0H. This is a memory location. This is memory location, and this is the data which is going to stored into that memory location. Okay, so this is happening because of this instruction, move instruction. Move the source operand into the destination operand, and this the source operand is always immediate value provided by user. It is not stored in anywhere, but after executing of this instruction, this value is going to be stored into a internal memory, and that internal memory can be anything. It can be A, it can be R0, it can be B register, It can be R0 to R7 register. If I write, okay, one more example is there. Move, that is means copy the source operand. What is the source operand? It is a immediate value. Because why it is an immediate value? Because I have written hash symbol here. So copy the 45H data into where? Into the destination operand. What is the destination operand? It is R3. So what is the address of R3? The address of by default bank 0 will be there. So address of R3 is going to be 03H. So into the 03H address, what will be stored? 45H. What is 45H? 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. This data is loaded into the 03H. 03H stands for R3 register. Okay, and one more register we have seen, DPTR. We know that a DPTR is a data pointer register, which is a 16-bit register. Data pointer is a 16-bit register. So copy, move. What has to be moved? FE00H. FE00H. Now see that I have not written 0 here. I have not written 0 because F has been started, no alphabet. If alphabet, if I am using writing alphabet only in the 8-bit data, then I have to add 0. Okay, I have to, along with 0, I have to write the alphabet. As this is a complete 16-bit register, I don't have to write 0 here. Directly alphabet can be written. Okay, so what will be stored into DPTR? In the DPH, DPTR is there is a memory location 82H, I think. 82H is 82H is DPH, data pointer high. 83H, um, okay, I exactly I don't know. Let us see the address of DPH and DPL. Yeah, here it is. Where is DPL? Okay, 80, 81, 82, 83. 83 is DPL, DPH. So here 83H is DPH address. 82H is DPL. Okay, data pointer high, data pointer low. So here this is 16-bit data. What is a higher byte here? FE is higher byte, 00 is lower byte. So into 83H, FE is stored, is written. Into 82H, 00 is written. Okay, so hash symbol is used for immediate data. Is it understood? Immediate addressing mode. So basically, data pointer is used to point, data pointer is used, data pointer register is used to point the memory location. Okay, it treats the value as a address, but always it points the address, this address in the external memory. Whenever there is an external memory operation is there, then data pointer is going to be used. Okay, data pointer always points to the memory location, external memory location. Okay, it points to the external memory location. It doesn't hold the data always. It means I am copying the data here. It means that the data pointer is pointing to FE00H in the external memory. Okay. Is it understood? The immediate addressing mode? No reply. Shall I repeat it once again? But we have to complete this module as soon as possible, because only for one addressing mode we cannot consume one complete class. Now, whether this is been understood? Sumaya, Muskan, Farah, Aitesham, Sangeeta, Kapila, Nida, okay. Aitesham, Madiha, Asif,
Yes, sir.
Akshata, Rohini. So many students are there, but no one is replying. Many students are not replying. Fine. So I will move on to the next addressing mode. Please explain last instruction once again. Okay. So the immediate addressing mode. According to this immediate addressing mode, what will happen? This is a 1 byte storage. A register is 1 byte register. So I can store only 1 byte data. R3 is also a 1 byte register. So I am storing 45H. Okay, whatever the data I write, that is going to be written into the register. R3 will hold 45H. Now, DPTR is a 16-bit register. DPTR is a 16-bit register. So I have to copy a 16-bit data. I have to I have to give a 16-bit data for DPTR register. Now, I know that if the DPTR is also divided into two registers, I can utilize the higher byte of DPTR and the lower byte of DPTR. So this meaning that there are two memory locations for DPTR. There are two memory locations for DPTR. Okay, so 82H and 83H. 82 and 83H. Okay, these are memory locations of 1 byte data. Now there are two memory locations, so that this is DPH and this is DPL. Okay, so FE00. What will happen if I execute this instruction? This is lower byte, this is higher byte. So in a lower byte 0000 and 0000, total 00 will be copied into DPL, and in DPH F and E is going to be stored. Okay, that is it. Nothing is more in this addressing mode. What is happening? 0AFH, it means A is one register. A is one register. A is having some memory location. What is our memory location of A? It is E0H. A is the name but the memory location is E0H. So what is going to be copied into that? AFH. That is A is 1010, F is 1111. Okay, that is going to be loaded into A register. In the R3 register, 45H is going to be stored. R3 register is also a 1 byte memory location, right? And what is the address of R3? It is 03. So into 03, what will be stored? 45. 45 stands for what? 0100 1010. That is so simple. We are just providing the data directly, and that data is going to be stored into one of the register or one of the memory location that what we are going to give. Okay. Now the destination operand should always be any of the register. It cannot be directly. It cannot be a direct. What we can say, memory location. I cannot write a memory number here, memory location number here, but I have to write any of the register and the destination register, destination operand. The source operand should always be a number, a value, or a data, which is followed by hash symbol always. Then this data is this value is treated as a data.
He should the school playground, the climbed
Then
down.
register addressing mode.
When she turned back to thanks the giraffe, she
Register addressing mode. So here basically what will happen, uh, there are registers, what we have seen, SP register is there, all the register, SP, A, B, R0 to R7, DPTR, or uh, DPTR, or also PC registers are there. So here, what is this register addressing mode is always, always either the source or the destination data should be present in any of the register. Okay, the source or the destination data should be present in R0 to R7. Okay, say for an example, see, the source is A register, but destination is from R0 to R7. R5 it is there. If source is some other register, the destination should be R0 to R7 only. R0 to R7 only. If see here, the destination is R2, but source is one immediate value. This is also immediate addressing mode, as well as this is register addressing mode. Register addressing modes means I have to utilize any of the register from R0 to R7 in the instruction. There should be any one register from R0 to R7 in the instruction, and that should be only one side. I cannot write both registers. I cannot use both registers from R0 to R7 here. Both means source and destination. Okay, both source and destination should not be R0 to R7. Only one, either the destination or the source should be R0 to R7. That is called as register addressing mode. That is called as register addressing mode. So here what will happen? Copy R0 comma A, move R0 comma A. It means what? The value of A, simply what is happening here, the value of A register, that is going to be copied into the R0 register. Here in this second one, what is happening? The direct immediate value 45H is going to be copied into the R2 register. And here what is happening? The value of R5 register is going to be copied into the A register. Okay. While copying, it will not delete the value of R5. It will not erase the value of R5. The value will be remaining in R5 as well as that is going to be copied into A. Move stands for not cut and paste. Move stands for only copy and paste. Copy from R5 register and paste into the A register. So the value is going to be remaining in both registers. The same value is going to be remaining in both registers. Okay, that is the operation of move. Move A comma R5, move A R2 comma hash 45H, move R0 comma A. So here always either the destination or the source should be uh, any of the register from R0 to R7, but both cannot be R0 to R7. I cannot write like move R0 comma R1. This is invalid. Okay, this is invalid data, invalid instruction. I cannot copy directly from R0 to R0, sorry, R1 to R0. I cannot write like this. Both should not be registered, but one of the operand should be registered. Another of the operand can be, see, okay, here it has been written. There is no instruction like move R0, move R5 comma R7, but we can get the same result by using move R5 comma 07H. Why? Because R0 address is 07H. Okay, that we can write, or else R5 address is 05H and R7 directly I can write. So this is register addressing mode. Is it understood? Okay, join back for the session. It is going to be end within some time period. Join back again. Okay, those whoever are there, 23 students, or else you will miss your attendance. Profile is also there. Okay.